Hello, hello. Okay. Let's work. Nicole, hello. Lucky Grandma, hello. You, you guys can hear me? Because everything's starting to pop up to where I can see if it all works. Dakota, hello. Listening to San Francisco by Scott McKenzie right now. I'm moving back in 3 weeks. Why did you interrupt me? I don't know. Okay, you guys can hear me. Awesome. Awesome. Halloween is coming up. I need to figure out how to do my intros and stuff. So that way it can come on YouTube. This is a whole funky setup for me. This is a whole new look right here. So, still trying to figure things out. So how's everybody on Friday night? Make it all fancy and shit, bro. Queenie Beanie Boys, hello. Hey, doing Queenie Beanie? I hope everybody has had a good week. It's doing well. I'm hoping. Lucky Grandma's tired. Feel good. How about you? I'm doing good. A little tired, but I'm doing good. Queenie's hanging tight. Dakota's mad I interrupted his listening pleasures. Have you ever heard that song? No, I haven't. I have not heard that song, Dakota. I don't even know who Scott McKenzie is. I've never even heard of him. Weird for me being on Friday night. It's been a long time since I've been on regular. Look it up. San Francisco by Scott McKenzie. Queenie says too long. Dakota, it was a song released in the 60s. 60s era. I love it. You know, I was watching a video of these kids listening to all types of music. And this one group of kids, we're talking ages 6 to 12. A couple of them were 14. And they were listening to the Spice Girls. I was giggling. And they liked tell me what you want, what you really, really want. They liked that song. The rest of them they weren't too thrilled about it at all. But they had it pegged. 80s music. And I was like, well, 90s, but hey. And then they played the Beatles for these kids. Every single one of them knew the songs they were playing. They were singing to them. They loved them. They said the music's better than today, but they didn't want to admit it. I was like, oh, even the Beatles are still attractive to even the young crowd. So, was it by Kids React? Yeah, it was by Kids React. Queenie says, I used to fall asleep to you. Well, let's hope we can get back to that. Let's hope. Lucky Grandma grew up in the 60s. Dakota says Queen, he's pretty boring. I fall asleep too sometimes. Aren't I though? I'm pretty boring. Snickerdoodle, hello. Well, that's because people don't like stuff I like to talk about, so I've tried to find something to talk about. But those kids' reaction were, the kids' reaction were, it they just blew me away. I mean, those kids knew the words to the Beatles songs. Dead serious. I was like, wow, you go, kids. This code is a smartass. uh, so I was one of the cute videos, and then I was looking at these pictures um of miniature Pekingese. They're only like that that high. I was like, I found the dog I want. They go for about $450. I'm gonna tell my mom. I don't want to spend that money. But it's a hell of a lot cheaper than a golden retriever that I want. But it's in Cincinnati. At least they're in the same state. But I ain't got a few grand to spend on it. We have 6 inches of snow here. It's been blizzarding all day. Where the hell are you? Lucky Grandma, they bark all the time. My mom and dad had a Pekingese who was my little brother. I miss him so much. I had a Pekingese named Casey. He didn't bark until a leaf blew across the yard. Then he'd go and attack it like it was some. That's the only thing he attacked was a freaking leaf blowing across the yard. I was like, and then he'd get it and he goes, "Rrr." And I'd be like, Casey, what you got? And he'd look up and this leaf would be in his mouth. I'm like, give me that. A Snicker said we had storms here earlier. So did we. So did we. And I knew it was south of me because all the noise seemed to be on that side. And that's south. That one's north. So we had a quick storm earlier today. And it lasted about 10 minutes. And then this evening it lasted, about 15. Then it went away. I was like, it needs to stop. But yeah, I'll be moving back to San Francisco in 3 weeks. Where you at? We did too. Lost power for a minute. God, I hope we don't ever lose power again. Which is impossible. Snow tomorrow here in northern Michigan. Oh my. Missoula, Montana, that's right. There was something going on in Missoula. And I can't remember what it was now. I was going to ask you about it. Oh my god. I can't even remember what it was. When it comes to me, I'll let you know. I was going to ask you about that. Can you believe it? It hasn't triggered. See, we got what 5? I think ours is in 4 more days. Our trick or treat night. And people are talking about snow already. I think we're still having it. Really do. Everybody well, we don't get trick-or-treaters. I had to go over to my mom's to say, Mom, can I come over and pass out candy? What was about generally? Oh, nothing good, that's for sure. I mean, not about Missoula, just stuff happening in Missoula. I used to love. Now I'm 8 days older than dirt, and the rain hurts like hell. Yeah, doesn't it? Sarah! Sarah, hello! Howdy, howdy, sweetheart. Yeah, I'm slowly but surely coming back. Was it about COVID or a police shooting recently? No, it wasn't about COVID. You're going to have to give me a minute to remember what it was about. I don't think it was about a police shooting. I think it was about an auditor. I think. If Doc was here, he would know if it was about an auditor or something. I'm surprised he's not, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I'm gonna have to remember because Missoula is not common. When I saw that, I went, I've heard of that before. Oh, my friend Shane Orgu, who's running for state auditor. No, no, First Amendment auditor. No. Not a state auditor, the First Amendment auditor, because that community, like I said, makes the drama community look like nothing. These people are getting arrested, tased, shot, attacked. Even one had to be in a wheelchair for about 6 weeks, whatever, and he was out there still doing his thing. He got attacked in a wheelchair. It's crazy. Maybe snow will kill COVID. If it didn't last winter, especially in China, China's cold. It's not going to this winter. It's really not. Matter of fact, they're bracing for another round. Did you watch the debate? Oh, hell yeah. I got up out of bed with only just a couple hours sleep just to watch that bitch. And I'm telling you, you know what the best part of the debate was? The very end, when Biden and Trump were leaving with their wives, Melania just said, "Leave me the hell alone." threw his hands off of her. Leave me alone. That was the best part. Missoula tried to ban the Second Amendment in the city limits so that people couldn't carry open or concealed within city limits. It went to the Supreme Court and got overturned. Well, it should. That goes against our constitutional rights. Yep, it's spiking up again. Sarah said, did anyone else notice that Jill Biden's mask matched her dress? That's what I thought too. I was like, ooh, she's color coordinated. I wonder if she does that with all her outfits. That's exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, ooh, she's color coordinated. I said to myself, I ought to do that. Yeah, I think she is disgusted by Trump. Hell yeah. Lucky Grandma said, yes, Sarah. Snickerdoodle said, yeah, it did. I supported the Second Amendment ban. You would, Dakota. She probably does now. Yeah. I was telling somebody earlier today, they were like, "Did you watch the debate?" And I was like, "Yeah." "Did you notice anything?" I said, "About what?" And she's, said Melania and Trump. And I said, "Hell yeah." She's sick of his ass. Say, "Look, dude, you done gave me and my son COVID. You're turning more and more orange every day. You going nuts." Sarah says C-SPAN has been showing old Veep and presidential debates, and I remember when women were getting their hair cut like Geraldine Ferraro and buying knockoffs of her outfits. Oh, God, that's a long time ago. She ran with didn't she run with Mondale? Interesting, they haven't shown anything with Sarah Palin. Lucky Grandma says she has the funds. He's getting awful fat too, says Dakota. Sam Rockwell, hello. Trump whooped that man like he sold something from him. Hi, Les. Actually, he didn't look orange. He looked more tanned. I support body positivity, but it's a concern for his health, says Dakota. Walter Mondale, my first presidential election. Sam Rockwell, McCain. I tell you what, I'll be honest with you. They were supposed to have the mute button, and I don't know if they were muted for the first half or if they were just being respectful, because I know by the second half, even I'm yelling, "Where's the mute button? Where's the mute button?" Did anyone hear about the 19-year-old who was arrested for threatening to kill Biden? And that was the least of what he did. No. He abandoned a van in a bank parking lot and it had $500 or is that 500,000 in cash and child pornography in it. And an investigation revealed the Biden thing. Oh my. Who built the cages, Joe? Who built them? Was it about the Second Amendment shit? The Supreme Court should have upheld it, and I was a proponent of the ban as a local political figure. Rolf, you big fat lesbo. Well, thank you. But tell me something I don't know. I had wondered where a 19-year-old would get 500,000 and someone else said it was an inheritance. Jeez. Mm-mm-mm. Well, which leads one to wonder, one, why someone would give a boy of 19 that much money, idiots. Two, how did he get that much cash and nobody noticed? I know. Rolf, I'm sorry. No, you're not. Because you are not fat or lesbian. Les, don't listen to the F and hate. I don't. I don't. And then he abandoned it. I know. I know. So, I don't know. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. And as far as that teen saying he's going to kill Biden, look what Trump did to Kathy Griffin for that mask of Donald Trump with ketchup on it. I mean, really. Saying, Rolf, did your father not hug you as a child? uh, Probably not. But you never know. But that's crazy. No, I did not hear about the 19-year-old. I have no love for Trump or Kathy Griffin, but that was way too out there. I just took it for what it was. For real. Rolf, I'm sorry you feel so badly about yourself. PJ Gone, hello. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope, anyway. But no, I'm gonna have to read up on that 19-year-old. Dead serious. But I know people are doing some really stupid shit lately. And it's like Angry Leslie show. There's Doc Furtifer. Hello. He was somewhere out on the East Coast. I'm gonna have to look that up. For real, for real. But I noticed people are lately have been doing some really stupid shit. Oh, I know what you're talking about with Missoula. Doc said, did you see the SC Swamp Breath video I sent with that song? Yeah, that's why I typed what I typed. There's Doc, yes. PJ says, hanging in, Les. OSU tried to drop me during this pandemic. I swear I wanted to call you. Oof, I was mad. You should have. You should have. Sam says, like the news saying a right-wing group tried to kidnap her, but they were Antifa. Sam Rockwell, Michigan governor. Yeah, I know. The suspect's name was Alexander Hillel Preisman. Preisman. Huh. Doc says, I hear there will be another lockdown here. Not like it'll matter seeing as I haven't left my house in weeks. Who knows what's going to happen, but I do know this. It seems like the closer it comes to the election, people are acting more and more stupid. And like it's okay. The mayor stole money under the table from the city budget to buy property and go on vacation. He never got charged. I'm still going to vote for him, though, when he runs for re-election. Well, that's about damn stupid. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, it's insane how wide that terrorism net was cast. Tell me about it. Sam says, you know damn well they're going to lock us down again, so you mail your vote in. Oh, if we go for lockdown, it ain't going to be until late. The lunatic fringe surrounds us. What is it? TODD? Hello. It's called the October Surprise, Les. Sarah says, I'm a library volunteer and they've extended their hours to accommodate the election and kids who need to use the computers. Dakota said, was that it, Les? No, it wasn't. It has nothing to do with your government or nothing like that. I think it has to do with an auditor. The location I work at is averaging 200 voters a day, which is great. They say it's a record so far of all the mail-in votes and shit. That it's a record so far. They also have to walk through the self-service bookstore I help manage, and they're buying stuff as well. PJ says, my brother drove all the way home from Atlanta because he was going to hire an attorney. My entire family is upset. This spinal cord injury is not getting better. Sorry, I cannot vote Trump. Doc says, I'm surprised they're letting people use the computer, Sarah. Here the public schools are just buying laptops and Wi-Fi for poor families. Sarah says, my parents are both 87 and could vote early absentee, but They don't want to. Dad asked me, what will the poll workers do if everyone votes early? Oh, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Sam says, Trump do that injury? They're not be as busy, I guess. Will you vote for me when I run for president, Les? I know you're a hardcore Republican conservative, but just wondering, you know. Who the fuck said I was a Republican conservative? Who said that? Sarah says, my branch has every third terminal open and disinfected and stations between uses. Awesome. I laughed at that, Dakota. Republican conservative. Theo says, I believe these elitists want civil war in this country. Oh, I do too. Snicker, all schools here are virtual now. Too many kids and teachers and staff getting COVID. Dakota says, I can just tell, Les. I hope you're joking, Dakota. I'm a little bit of both parties, says Sam. Me too. I'm not a hardcore Republican conservative. What? Because I like my firearms? I was raised with guns and hunters. Are you serious? We actually ate the meat. Although, I don't think I can do it now. When I was young, yeah. Deer meat, shit. I never ate rabbit and shit like that. I had a pet rabbit. Why would I eat rabbit? We're also taking book, etc., donations, and quarantine everything for 3 days. So we just take them on Mondays and Thursdays. Awesome. Doc says, we all know Les wishes it was 1968 so she can plug her hardcore hippy dippy liberalism. I'm not a hardcore liberal person either. Me too, Sam. All blue, all red. BJ, Les is more independent thinking. Yeah, I would say I'm in the middle. COVID finally struck someone I know personally besides myself. I believe I had a mild case before the news really hit. So does Cameron. He swears he had it. Dan says, what's wrong with people who pick presidents based on their party? Nothing. My mom's family, they're straight up Democrat. They always vote straight Democrat ticket. Didn't you vote for Nazi Trump in 2016 and going to vote for him again? No, I did not vote for Trump in 2016. Never did say that. Nope. I voted for Hillary Clinton. This year I wrote it in. Sat right here in this chair, because I mailed mine in. Sat right here in this chair and wrote in Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. She's going to be okay, but her husband took their kids and is staying elsewhere so she can recover and quarantine at home. Yeah, we've had family members, and I've had 3 friends, long-term friends, people I've known all my life. I babysat their kids. Die. It was a rough couple months there at the beginning of summer. You know, Dakota, he has to be the worst Nazi I've ever seen. Seeing as people can freely rely on him and threaten his life. Sam says Trump paid $20 million for Reverend Jesse Jackson to run 2 times in the 80s. What a racist. Stone says Obama deported millions and built the cages. Biden and Obama are Nazis. They are not Nazis. There says, I don't believe in voting straight tickets. In fact, it's this time I cast my vote for an R in the local race. It says, did you vote for Joe Biden? No, I wrote in Kamala Harris as president. I wrote her name in. Sat right here with my little white pen and wrote her name in. I heard you say that Who did you write in for vice president? I didn't write anybody in for vice president. They didn't give you the option. They just said, um, the after they give you the list, it says, write in for president, and I wrote Kamala Harris. Joe Biden is on YouTube sexually assaulting women and children. Kamala Harris has locked up countless black folks for nonviolent crimes, says Stone. Yeah, like Trump never has, but we're not going there, you guys. Oh no, sorry to hear that, Les. Thank you, PJ. And we know somebody else who just caught it, so yeah. Sure, I can hear her running again, to be honest, if she doesn't win it this time around. Sarah says, Tio, I agree, it's nothing new. It just got out of the local area. Sam says Obama deported more than Trump. Tio said agreed. Doc says, white pen. How are they going to be able to read that? Ha ha ha. Joe said, well, that's foolish. She's going to be president anyways if Biden gets elected. I don't care. That's who I put as president. Sarah says Kanye West was on my local ballot. He wasn't on mine. I said, well, he's not this area, so I don't know. Sam says Joe loves to sniff hair. I know somebody else who does that too. I can't stand it. Who built the cages, Joe? No answer. Connie Baldwin, hello. My acquaintance is a prominent local person, so I actually read it in the newspaper. The paper also implied that she and her husband had separated. Aww. PJ said it's very scary. People aren't taking it seriously. I am. I checked their Facebook pages and it looks like they are for the next 2 weeks and not because they wanted to be. Yeah, what do they expect? What? Let's just have the whole family around one person. Let's all get sick. Joe almost died when Trump asked him who built the cages. I know 6 people who caught the crap. One is on oxygen 24/7 now. Sucks. Anna Grissom, hello. Hi everyone. Have to have eye surgery November 9th. Pray for me. Praying for you. Yeah, we are America's first, political party second. Exactly. That's how I look at it. Joe says, I love you, Les. Sometimes I'm too hard on you, but this stuff is very important to think about. And you don't think I don't? Really? Obama built the cages, but kept families together. Demo Don delighted in ripping babies from nursing mothers. Parents were detained and kids were called unaccompanied minors. Doc says Joe says don't Americans don't panic, but didn't care to explain why people bought out toilet paper for a respiratory virus. Connie says praying for you. Sam, so they should have put kids with the coyotes that traffic them here. Sarah says it said something like she sent her kids to live with her father, but that might have just the way it was worded. Yeah, I think so too. Obama separated countless families when he destabilized North Africa, which led to mass human trafficking and murder. Sam says put kids with adults. PJ says good luck and Anna will keep you in our thoughts and prayers. Joe says you're very smart, Connie. Connie says they were not trafficked by coyotes, they came with their parents. I would not keep children with cartel kidnappers. It's a very small amount of people who come over here with here whose kids are actually theirs. I says stop with the conspiracy theory bullshit. Sam says if I robbed a bank while holding a baby, they're taking my kid. They said I used to do some canning. I saw jars and rings at an estate sale yesterday and definitely shared that on Facebook. No lids, however. Oh, what's the point if you don't have the lid part? You know? Thus, North Africa is still suffering and running rampant with slavery since Obama destabilized it. Thanks blood on retina diabetic neuropathy in both eyes, trying to prevent total blindness. Anna, are you having the laser done? Are you going to be having the laser done? Government came and took my baby. I was horrified when I heard that some Mexicans, etc., were sending kids as young as 4 years old with older siblings because they couldn't leave themselves. Tia says, when will we learn the highest in federal government aren't on our side? It's legalized mafia bullshit. Canning season is mostly over for now. They'll have them for next year. Yeah. Why is nobody mad about China having 3 million Muslims and Christians in death camps? Liz, are you so damn? Because Liz, you are so damn sexy. Just say yeah, right. You guys are writing too much for me to even comment on anything. Look, I get mad when anybody's in a cage. I don't even like people caging animals. like you know, people cage dogs and shit. Why are you caging a dog? Then why have a dog if you have to cage it? We've never caged an animal except for our bunny rabbit, but he was only caged at night when we went to bed. Other than that, he ran free during the day, and we walked him on a leash outside. He got his outside time and everything, and he was actually house trained. If he had to go poo, he'd come over to your leg, or if you're laying down, he'd just come over, put his front little paws on you, and then he'd hop to the door. But I don't believe so. Yeah, the caging thing. What disturbed me with that is when Trump said he didn't deny it. He just said they're treated very well. Put them in a home until you find their parents. You know? So, I don't like anything being in cages. Except for maybe my grandkids. They could go in a cage. They'd probably love it though. They'd make it like a little campsite or something. I'm gonna get them a cage, see what they do with it. Dead serious. Oh. Peter said I had a semi-rescue cat because his meow me was staying in a place where one of the housemates said he had to stay in his crate while she was gone. Oh. Oh. I'd rather have a peace of mind knowing my dog is in a crate safe and sound than stressing if she eats a cow or something else toxic. That's why you train them. Our animals never did. You train them. And we didn't keep them in cages to train them. You train them. While I'm away, of course. We never even did that. Casey, my parents peeking. Casey was the type of dog that I could have a plate of food and set that bitch on the living room floor or just set it on the floor, get up, Like, say I'm down in the den, leave my plate there. Casey can be laying beside the plate. Go up, get me something to drink, talk on the phone, come back down, and my sandwich would still be there untouched. Cyrus, the golden retriever, was the same way. Of course, the rabbit couldn't get up to anything. Oh, Dakota, what did you write? All undocumented immigrants should receive free health care, food, housing, clothing, cigs, and alcohol sometimes if they need. This is a country for everyone. Bonnie says, shoot, my boy would have scarfed it down. You just train them. I'll be honest with you. My mom is an animal whisperer. I'm not kidding you. She trained my freaking fish. I went away. I was at college. Came back. It was Christmas break. And I came back and my mom, I was like, my fish tank. She says, I done cleaned this twice. I was like, Mom, you clean fish tank like once a year. That's what the cosmos is for, is to eat the algae. That's how they eat. Oh, he's happy. I was like, this thing is beyond, this looks brand new. And then she trained my fish. Wherever my mom walked, that's where all the fish went. And then, of course, she fed him off her finger. That's how she fed him. And I was like, well, shit. Les, what are your thoughts? Her says, and that's how she trained them. I swear, my mom's an animal whisperer. Birds, dogs, cats, my fish, um, horse. My mom walked straight up to a bull, and just petted it. We're like, Mom, my, I, it's amazing. My mom is not afraid of any animal. Not afraid of any animal. He is still calling for the Central Park 5 to be put to death. I thought they were released. I live by a creek and ducks come running if they see me walk out onto my patio. Ooh, they figure, oh, hey, she's coming to feed us. Dakota, this is my feeling on undocumented. I believe the United States is the greatest melting pot in the world. I believe people should come. We have tons of land that's not even being used or lived on or anything. It's untouched. United States is freaking huge. And there's only, what, 350 million people in this country? And we're sprawled out. It's not like when we build a house, we have to build straight up, like in England or something. We're sprawled out. But, speaking as someone who's half my family is second generation off the boat, and listening to my grandparents, that I feel if you want to get into this country, you should fill out the paperwork and come in like everyone else. And that's exactly how I feel. And it's not fair for those who have lived here, who was born and raised here, who has worked and put in the money for Social Security and stuff, for people who um for people who are undocumented, who are here illegally, to reap benefits of my hard work. It's not that I'm not a giving person. I think everybody has the right to come in. Dead serious. But they should come in like my family did and plenty of others. That's my take on it. And if you're going to get free healthcare and free food, why not do it for the American citizens that's been here? Illegally is not the correct term, it's undocumented. If you cross the border and nobody knows about it, it's illegal. If you are undocumented, it's illegal. So there you go. They don't get free healthcare and they don't get free food. If they come over and have children, their children will, but they won't. They live off their kids. Hell, Americans do that. They live off their kids. I don't work, but my kids, they receive Social Security and food stamps, and that's how I live. When that money's supposed to be for the kids and their well-being. Okay, I gotta go. Everybody have a great day. You have a great day too. So, but you guys, I hope you're done with your little political talk, because I don't get deep into politics like that. So, that's about as political as I'm going to get, and that's about as political as I want the chat to get, really. Thank you for teaching Les truth with me, Connie. Dakota, I'm telling you right now, you need to stop insulting me. I don't say a thing about you for not thinking the way you do, and I'm sick of you saying shit about me not thinking the way you do. So, you can't get Medicaid and food stamps if you're here illegally. You want to make a bet? You know I love you, Les. Well, then you need to take a step back. In New York City, you can get Medicare if you're illegal. They just gave 3,000 driver's licenses out to illegals. Dakota always in here saying ridiculous shit, says Stone. White Pig Fence, hello. Oh, you want to make a bet? Guarantee you. Because it happens in Philly all the time. All the time. All the time. They can print everything and anything up in Philly. And I'm sure they can do the same thing in New York and big cities everywhere. So you're in a high, right, Les? Mm-hmm. Then they're committing fraud. Of course they are. Driver's licenses are another department altogether. The DMV is cracking down on that shit. At least they are in a high. I don't know about other states. Elizabeth Timmons, hello. But like when you go to get your license. Of course, there's 2 licenses you can get, and Governor Cuomo gives them out a candy. Do you have do you know Quantrell Bishop from Youngstown? No, I don't. I haven't lived in Youngstown in years. Last time I was in Youngstown, trafficking was when my brother could make fake driver's licenses. Elizabeth, how are you, Les? I'm doing pretty good. Doing really good. But it's going to be mandatory, and I can't remember the date of the cutoff. I just went ahead and got it because the cutoff is before my next birthday. Is Youngstown actually as hardcore as people say? Yeah. Youngstown used to be known as the murder capital of the United States, but I think that title's been given to some other city, but it's definitely the murder capital of Ohio. And it is. Youngstown is, I never went into, there was only one time I went into downtown Youngstown at night, and I had to take Cameron to the doctor. I had to take him to the hospital. He was so sick and running a fever and shit. And the hospital is surrounded by a 6-foot fence with razor wire. And that was the only time I went downtown Youngstown at night. I always went during the day. I never went at night. It's, yeah. And I tell you what, Dan says now they put chips in the driver's license now. Hard to fake now. Well, anyway, there's 2 though. There's 2 licenses. You can get a regular license and you can get a federal license. And the federal license, like I said, I forget when the cutoff date is to get it. Is I forget. Well, anyway, it allows you to go on planes or into federal buildings and shit like that. They're going to start enforcing that after a certain date. And you have to have that federal stamp, which I got. Well, in Ohio, when you go get your license, not only do you have to show all this proof, but they make you wait to get your license. They'll give you a piece of paper with your picture on it, and it's a temporary one. And anywhere 7 to 10 days later, you'll get this white envelope in the mail, and your license will be in there. And I asked them, because I had to replace mine last year, and I had to renew it this year. But I asked them last year, is that because they want to make sure you're a citizen? And she looked at me and said, yeah. So they're going to be cracking down on that. Let's see my last message. Okay. Dakota, their last message says, let's see my last message. Oh, I gotta find you. Alright. Joe Biden will legalize all undocumented immigrants in his first 30 days in office. That's partly why I'm voting for him. I know. Snickerdoodles, so you can fly? Yeah, they're going to be enforcing that. They're going to be enforcing that. Snickerdoodle says they have that here in Kentucky. Yeah, it's so you can get into federal buildings and stuff like that, and you can fly and shit. Youngstown population peaked 1930, 1960 and has declined about 50% each decade since. Yeah. I respect your views, Les. Don't think I don't miss. Everyone has to get the gold star mandatory now. I had mine for years. They just started this a year and a half ago. So, um, where's my wallet? It's all the way over there. Oh hell, legalize them only for Kamala to lock them up for 30 years because of a parking ticket. Oh my god. You're a free thinker. Yep. Cleveland High has produced the most championship boxes than any other place in the world. Right? Boxers. And what is Gold Star? Ooh, let me grab my license. Is it a Gold Star? Do I even have, there it is. Looking for mine. Yeah, mine ain't gold. I'll show y'all what it looks like. Alright, I'll cover everything up, but this is what. Whoop. Alright. See that there? That's the federal stamp. My license didn't have that before, and I still have my other license right there because they gave it back to me. But this is the federal stamp. And you can choose to get the other one. And they're going to be making it mandatory if you want to get into a federal building. You'll need to have that stamp on there. Or if you want to fly. If you don't ever care to fly or go into a federal building, that'll suck if you have to go to court. Can't get in. But that stamp right there will be required. Be careful, Les. Don't show that. Why? It shows no. It doesn't show. I'm not showing any information. It's not illegal to show that. Bad news for the First Amendment auditors. That's what happened to your hands. Are you a boxer? No, I can't. My hands don't work. I can't feel a lot of things. And I can't lift pots very well. And I keep burning myself on the oven and the stove. And aggressive, mine doesn't have it. Lucky Grandma says Michigan driver's license is gold. Yeah, ours is, well, our whole thing is in black and white, so but that's the stamp. It's that kind of a star. And you have until it's sometime next year that you have until maybe it's October of next year, maybe. I just went ahead and got it because I didn't feel like going. So you have until October next year. If you have any questions, call your DMV. And obviously, has a hologram chip with your photo. That's what our state of Ohio emblem is, the hologram. We've had that. But to get into a federal building, you'll need that stamp, or to fly. It's like, it is like $10 more. Ours was the same price. It was still $27. Because I thought it was going to be more. But no, not here in Ohio. In Ohio. I'm just saying, here in Ohio, it was the same price. So, $27. And then, of course, I donated. You know, I always donate to the good causes and shit. And Salvation Army, they love me, but they don't know. They don't know they do. Every time I pass a pop, and I don't put $1, I put like $5 in. Because I might need them one day. You never know. Not to mention, back when my mom was young, not a kid, but mid-teens, they had a flood down there in Grantsville, wiped everybody out, and the Red Cross showed up, but they made people pay, and when Salvation Army came, they just gave, and they helped my family out. So I donate to doctors without diplomas. Oh my god. Lucky Grandma says, we pay more than that here. You should move to Ohio, it's cheaper. Anna's going to the casino on the 30th. On a happy note. Yay! Did you mean Doctors Without Borders? Sam says no diploma. Sam cracks me up. Sam, when are you moving to Ohio? Getting out of New York? I hear New York, like Times Square and all that, is like, compared to what it usually is like no one there. I was giving extra library donations to disabled American veterans. Then they told me they had too many books, probably thanks to us. Doc says, I donate to guide dog schools whenever I can. Lucky Grandma says, good luck, Shady Anna. Sam said, as soon as I get 100,000. You don't need that much. Sarah says, so for now I give them to the Salvation Army, which is not far away. Awesome. Our Salvation Army had a store, and I literally would shop there and get clothes, especially when the boys were young. They had their set of good clothes, like when we would go to a function, out to eat, or if we were going to like the amusement parks or a museum or something, or church, they had those outfits. And then I would go to Salvation Army because they had the best clothes. And it was all new shit. And spend like $8 and get them 50,000 outfits. And they were good clothes to go play in and stuff like that. And blah, blah, blah. And I got myself some jeans and clothes too, you know. And then for some reason, of course, Goodwill had their store, but damn, I'm like, I'd rather go to Salvation Army. First of all, it's cleaner. Secondly, they had better clothes. DAV donations are only sold at that store. SA donations go to a warehouse and then they're distributed. What's DAV donation and SA donation? Doc says, I'm thinking of getting a job as a kennel worker around here. Local shelter. Seems they'd be accommodating to workers with service dogs. Dan says, Tuck, you don't want to work in a kennel or an animal hospital. After 6 months, I was so depressed of seeing so many animals have been put down. I need this. Have been put down. I need his meds. I'm banned from Salvation Army, says Doc. Sam, I've been hearing about that. Disabled American vets. Oh, okay, in Salvation Army. Okay. I always give to the veterans and the firefighters, and always give to the Heart Association and Diabetes Association. Dave here used to be a very dirty store, although they still had cool stuff. The new management has really improved it. See, they don't have that kind of store here. And oh, anyway, Goodwill for some reason they got mad with the Salvation Army, and I mean everybody I knew went to Salvation Army store, and then all of a sudden they were gone. They haven't been back since, and I'm like, they had the best stuff. Doc says, I actually think I'm banned from all their Chicagoland locations. How do you get banned from the Salvation Army store? Really? How do you get banned? Yep, diabetes needs a cure. Diet is not enough, says Anna. Have you taken your shots, your evening shots yet, Anna? I took mine. There's been a couple times I've forgot to take my meds because I fell asleep. I got into a shouting match with two guys there in the store, and they didn't want me back even after cops said I was in the right. Well, they do have a right to ban people. You guys like my Craftsman hat? It's supposed to go to my dad, but I took it. It's up there with my top 3 favorites. My favorite one is definitely the zoo. And then my Papa John's. And now this one. But I wear a lot of hats. Campbell's wife. Oh my god, talk about a blast from the past. Hello. Well, hello there, Les. It's been forever since I caught you live. No kidding. How are things going? How are things going with you? Is everything going all right? I know you were having, last we talked, you were having some troubles. Anna said, had perfect sugars for 2 years. Still had eye damage and metformin, not insulin yet. Ah. Doc says, one of them didn't like that the tip of my cane had grazed his sneakers. This was like 3 or 4 years ago when I was really vision impaired. Campbell's wife, good here. How you been? I've been good. I cannot complain. At all. Same old, same old. I'm still alive and I'm happy about that. So. Awesome. Thank you. Hope things are going great with you. Doc's always getting in trouble with someone. Always, always. What else was I going to say that's coming down the pike? Can't remember. Shit. So then he goes off, blah, blah, blah. These sneakers are the real deal. You don't have the right to just cause you're disabled, etc. I wish I was there. I'd be like, dumbass, he's blind. What did he do to your sneaker? Really? I was wondering why I could hear better. I would have sucker punched him. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about earlier. People have been getting more and more crazy. They are people are literally getting into fist fights over nothing. Literally. I have seen people post of things other people are literally beating up people over standing in line. Another one was over some kind of food. I mean, literally beating people up. They just knocked out Rick Moranis, the actor from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in New York City. Oh, they what? Fox says I was getting closer to it. They just knocked out Rick Moranis, the actor from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in New York City. Anna said, yep, had another Karen to deal with. Sam says they're teeing off on white people in New York City like it's legal. Oh, I heard about that too. It sounded like a stunt some people tried to make a viral YouTube video. Damn, Rick Moranis, there ain't nothing to that guy. What could he have done? Going to Google that and see what is up, says Picket Fence. I saw this one. I have to walk around with a weapon to get cigarettes. Oh my god. I saw a video of this lady. She was in Starbucks. She asked for a certain type of coffee. The barista made it. But because it didn't taste exactly like it did the day before, she swore the girl didn't make it. So she ended up throwing the coffee at the girl, went around the counter, was destroying the place, made her own damn shit, which was just plain coffee. Then went back around the counter. They were threatening to call the cops. They were telling her to get out of the store. And she was just destroying the place, saying, Black Lives Matter, call the cops. Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, call the cops. And I was like, I would have punched her. I would have said, I asked her 16,000 times to leave. She's destroying my place. So I punched her and threw her out. I'm so glad I don't have a use for a white cane anymore, believe it or not. It caused me more trouble than the dog. Jeez, I never argue or get an attitude with people that make your food. Sam says, drag her ass out. They were scared to touch her. They were scared to touch her. I'm like, yeah, your life matters. You better get out of here before I do something. Your life matters. You better get out. I think, personally, if you tell somebody, get out of your store, we're not servicing you, and they don't leave and they start destroying your shit, I believe you have a right to defend your shit, knock the hell out of them, and throw them out. Call an ambulance. I just knocked them out. Dog says, Sam, that's why I'm glad that McDonald's has that new kiosk thing, cuts out the middleman. Sam says, BLM goes up to every doorman building on Park Avenue and demands that they donate $500 for the smash the windows in these buildings. Pay. Jeez, I don't have the social skills to go to an actual restaurant. Piggott says, okay, Rick is 67 years old and was just taking a walk, and a guy coming the other way punched him in the head and kept walking. It was caught on a building camera. Oh my god. Are you serious? He is recovering and there was no words exchanged. Sam says, get a German Shepherd. He punched him so hard he could have killed him. Jeez. There's going to end up being a civil war. There truly is. That's why I'm glad I live where I live. Sam says that's all day in New York City. Picket fences, I just looked it up on a news channel. I would link it, but cannot hear without mod stuff. Here, let me see if I can make you a mod on this. Okay, pick a fence. Temporary. You're a mod, temporary. Rick is 7 years old and tiny, yeah. I'd rather have the giant schnauzer over a shepherd, hypoallergenic, but still the same size, same working drive, protective, etc. Pick a fence, it's okay, let's see if this works. Oh, my hands are locking up. That's pretty sad. There's nothing to Rick Moranis. Whoever it is probably didn't recognize he was a celebrity or whatever. Well, which is good because then maybe it would have beat him up more than that. There, now take mod away. I have too many wrenches as it is. I don't even see the link. Did you post the link? I'll be mad. He did it so nonchalantly. There it goes. He did it so nonchalantly like he was covering a cough. Okay, I only seen it once, that's why. Okay. There you go. Anna says, I want 5 dogs. I want to get a miniature Pekingese. They're so cute. And I saw a picture of one that, oh my god, I looked at it and said, I gotta get that one. Because it looks like Casey. Picket fence says, that is seriously messed up. Oh. Jeez. Is Merc Rainus that old already? Jeez, cow, I must be getting old. He had a I Love New York shirt on. So that tells me he's from out of state. He was built like Mike Tyson. Jeez. Les will sooner get a pit. Well, I don't think so. White picket fence. I had my dog flown in from a high. He is a year old now and 90 pounds. That was like my golden retriever. That was like my Rottweiler. There was a reason why he was called Tubbs. Oh man. I tell you. It's getting crazy. I'm telling you. Shit I've been seeing, and people don't seem to understand. If everyone has a right to free speech, which is guaranteed the First Amendment of our Constitution, free speech, then it doesn't matter if whatever Joe Blow next door is saying, if you don't like it, it's still free speech and he has the right as much as you do. And these people aren't getting it. I get paid to walk 2 German Shepherds at night for $75 an hour. That's how dangerous New York City is now. Jeez. And said, yep, small dogs would be better for me. But want chocolate lab. Soccer can share ice cream. Antifa will sucker punch you if you don't agree with their view. That's what I'm saying, you know. It's like rights for some, not for all. And these people are saying speech is violence. Last I looked, speech is speech. The worst it can do is hurt your feelings. But I don't believe speech can put a knife in your heart or a bullet through your head. Last I looked, it's not violence. It's really weird. I have no idea. Now, those who are saying that speech is violence and that it's those are liberals right there. And people's got to know the difference between law and feelings. You know? Wait until the trumpets play that game. We eat meat and have military experience. Damn. Like Mingo and Steve on YouTube. I have no idea who they are. Doc says, Les, that reminds me, forgot to tell you, but someone on my community Facebook republished a donor database of everyone around here who supports Trump, which shows their addresses and names. That's sad. Sarah said these past few years have brought the extremists on all sides out of the woodwork. It has. Sam says as soon as Antifa got that chops on the first thing they did was put up walls for guys with guns guarding the exits and entrances. That don't sound like anti-fascist to me. Guy and his dog, they love ice cream. Dog says they even doxed an old lady who wasn't even on the database. Tell me about it. Sam said chop zone. One of the first things they did was put up walls and guys with guns. I don't understand why Americans are fighting Americans like this. I don't understand it. Why they want to tear down history? Why are they wanting to get rid of history? Why are they trying to change history? History is history. You know? It's part of who we are, whether we like it or not. It's part of who we are. It's part of what's made this country. They're going into nursing homes and paying the nurses to help the old people fill out their voting ballots, and they put the opposite of what the old people ask. Jeez. Doc says it was met with a huge amount of negativity, but there were, of course, the few who applauded it. Americans hating on Americans like that, I know one thing, I'd like for them to try that bullshit here in these nursing homes. For real. I'd like for them to try that bullshit here. I can tell you right now, It won't happen here. When I vote, I gotta bring a friend to bring a gun and sit with me. Are you serious? Most nursing homes are on lockdown, so I'm not sure if I believe that, but you never know, says White Picket Fence. If it's this bad now, I am fearful to think of how it will be in 10 years down the line. I'm scared to death for my grandkids. Scared to death for them. Sarah, Sam, do you have a link to a story about this? I know that disabled people are allowed to have assistance in voting. Anna says they better not do that to my Anna. She's 104. I'm telling my aunt. Sam says that bad. BLM is harassing Republican neighborhoods. White Picket Fence says, I think it is Alabama, not sure, but they made it illegal for the disabled to do curbside voting. Are you serious? Sam, where do you have that? It's that dangerous? Sam says New York City. First of all, I'm glad I'm not voting in Columbus. And I'm here to tell you, I already voted. I voted last week, and it was last week. I think it was last week or beginning of this week. No, it was last week, or was it the beginning of this week? My days all run together. Hell, I forgot it was even Friday. I thought it was Wednesday. I sent mine in, and I asked my sister. Doc and I talked about this. You got people screaming defund the police while they live in a doorman building with a security guard that's licensed to have a gun. Liberals. Yeah, don't defund the police. That's about asinine stupid. But the story going around where they said that the postmen were they said they caught a postman throwing away a bunch of ballots. And so I asked my sister. I was telling Doc, because he was telling me about that, and it's not true. And I asked Cheryl, because that shit goes through. You guys want to know, just between us, it's all lean in. Don't tell no one. You want to know what the line for the best gossip that if you want it spread, tell a postal worker. I have never seen anything like it. Ain't no shit around here that's going on way out there, like California and shit, out west. I am not kidding you. That shit goes through the postal system like wildfire. She said, Les, nobody's done that. I was like, I know, but it's just crazy. And come to find out, the story was false. Sarah says, oh, the postal workers are the first to know everything. They are. They are. But it's not true. It was totally made up. It's not true. They don't care about the mailing anyway. They care if you get a package. Some do. And believe it or not, it's very few compared to how many people is employed by the Postal Service. There have been cases of postal workers dumping mail, many cases, but not specifically ballots. This is the mail that they dump, okay? They'll dump inserts. They'll dump, like, if they have add-ons, which is like, people get the regular mail and then the postal carrier has to deliver all this extra shit that nobody's asked for. They'll dump that shit and they get fired for that. They really do. It has been done. And yeah, junk mail. And they do get fired for that. And they know. Don't ask me how. But they know who does it and when they do it. Don't ask me how they know. I do know that there are spies out there that check on postal workers. But they know who does it and when. It's amazing. When I lived in my old town, a mall truck en route to a hub crashed and burned, and the driver died. A couple weeks later, my postman brought me a mostly burned order form for something I wanted to get my niece. I also heard that the mailing for a low-power Christian TV station was destroyed in that accident. Oh, wow. It was just a tragic accident, nobody's fault. Oh my gosh. In 20 years, they won't even be postal workers. And it says it was on Facebook. They get flagged for false stories all the time. Yeah, so, they dump that shit. Some do. They get caught and they get fired. Damn, I heard that too 20 years ago. Post office ain't going nowhere. You know why the post office ain't going nowhere? Because there is no one else that can deliver and cover the area that the post office can. Amazon tried to start their own mail company, and they were going to deliver their own packages, and Amazon couldn't do it. It was too expensive even for Amazon. That's why they have a contract with the post office. Government should get rid of UPS and FedEx to revive post office. No, what the federal government needs to do is let the post office do what they want to do instead of giving a hold on them, because the post office, the U.S. Post Office, gets, I forget how much money a year from the federal government, even though they're not they have the protection of the federal government. They're not an actual federal government thing. That's why when the government shut down, the post office didn't. They're their own thing, their own entity. And what the post office wants to do is that they have ideas to make money other ways to keep the costs down. And the federal government won't let them do it. Just like they want to sell like fishing and hunting licenses. The federal government won't let them do it. They want to, but the federal government won't let them do it. Was the military ballot dumping story confirmed fake? I thought that one was legit. It's fake. They don't do that. Especially the military. USPS funds pensions for employees 75 years in advance. That was their financial undoing. Yeah, but there are things that the post office is wanting to do to make money, and the federal government just won't let them. Not if the post office wants their protection. So that's a good point, Les. I imagine that would be a good way to be hunted down by the military police. No, FedEx and UPS killed them. I heard that some military ballots were declared invalid, but it was because the soldiers didn't fill them out correctly. That would create more jobs, fishing licenses, etc. Um, I don't think it would create more jobs. They would just add it into um, whatever you're going into mail. If you use red ink, your vote gets thrown out. Yeah, they may have been sent back, um, or put aside and re-given to the military. But military, they have their own. When they're dealing with mail, they have their own gathering place, and then they take it. Um, the post office doesn't handle. Um, it handles it, but not like you think. And not like they would, our mail where it goes through 500,000 hands, whereas if you get some from the military, it may go through 100,000 hands. If you misspell something or have one little letter out, it's voided. Sam was hoping for more jobs for people. If you, yeah, you just go in like you buy a book of stamps. Say I want to get my license. It takes what? Because I used to do them all the time. I know that machine like the back of my hand and all the codes. I used to anyway. And it takes what? 45 seconds to do a license. So that's what those APO and FPO addresses are for. It enables people to get mail without giving away their exact location. Yep. I have an Amazon business and sent a package by FPO to Bogota, Colombia using US postage. Yeah. I'm saying the US handles it, just not like they do like a letter from us. It's part of the mail, it's a different system. Sarah sells coke grinders. That's funny. Oh man. I tell you what, I don't even know if I want election day to come. But I'm going to be live that night. You can betcha I'll go early. I'm going to come on early. I'll be live. I want to know the results as it's coming in. It's going to be a riot no matter who wins. Oh, I know. It's going to be a total shit show no matter what. Actually, I remember what it was. It was a book giving tips on potty training. Okay, somebody had a kid or someone in the unit don't know how to wipe their ass. White Pig Fence, nothing will be official for weeks. They have to count all the mail-ins. There's a record amount of mail-ins already. Apparently, there's a record. I mailed mine in already, so I already done voted. I have to work that day, election day. If they don't count them by January 20th, Nancy Pelosi as president. That's one person I hope gets the hell out of there. Her and Mitch McConnell. I hope both of them. But I know one thing. Lindsey Graham is in trouble in his state. I forget what state he's in, but he's in trouble. Probably a diplomat's tyke and the book they wanted wasn't available there, at least not in English. Why pick Vince? Most places are not allowed to start counting until election day. I agree, Mitch and Nancy are a mess. I signed up to count mail-in ballots, but they said they had enough people. I asked to be waitlisted, and they said they could do that too. I know there's a record amount of people. And the ballots, jeezy cow. Them things are sealed up tight and couple envelopes and shit. Mitch McConnell is a robot. Cardi B, hello. Has anyone seen the picture of Mitch covered in bruises? Yeah, what is up with his hand? I want to be a pole watcher too. Cardi B, hola. Hola, ¿cómo están? They go through several layers of anonymity before being tabulated. I don't see how animated and I don't see how the anonymity, how anonymous it is, because I had to fill out my name, address, and everything else. Yeah, he has shit all over his face. What is up with that? A lot of us are wondering if he's also on some kind of blood thinner like Coumadin. Muy bien. Awesome. Yeah, because he's getting some kind of treatment. Sam says they use a U-Haul truck to move them from place to place. How safe is that? Who uses a U-Haul truck? Here they just use the semis. Mitch looked like he just got beaten. I know a lot of people noticed that. What is up? I guess Nancy kicked his ass over this stimulus deal. Nancy finally said, because they're both 110. Sam said, I thought it was newspaper ink. I guess him and Nancy karate chopped his butt. He was trying to get her ice cream, so she kicked his ass. Took a couple shots and said, here we go. Okay, stop. You just made pop go out my nose. That was funny. Yeah. In the UK, the post office trucks are rigged with an alarm that says something like, help, help, mail vehicle under attack, call the police. The money trucks have the same alarm. Nancy thinks Americans can eat solar panels. I tell you what, if I can get solar panels on my house, I'd do it in a New York minute. I'd live off the grid. I wouldn't have no internet, no nothing. I can't live off the grid. Nancy Pelosi ice cream wasn't raisin. She got mad. Only 4 states those panels work. You think? All you need is sunshine, dude. And then you can store electric. If you live in a sunny climate, they're good. What you do is you have your solar panels on your house, and then you have your I don't know what you want, your own little electric station to store it all up and use it when you need it. California, Nevada, Phoenix, really hot, sunny places. Doesn't have to be hot, it just needs to be sunny. I know people around here who have them. Solar panels are only good for scrap metal in a place like London. We ain't talking about London, we're talking about the United States. I don't really care about London. Although I do care about the Queen. London is gray every day. We have a lot of wind turbines in my area, Cicera. We do. Look, the Earth is full of natural energy sources. One of these days, the fossil fuels are just going to dry up. Government won't know what you are thinking if you get solar panels less. Those winter binds kill millions of songbirds each year. And windmills. Well, you'd think they'd be smart enough not to run right into them. You'd think. But there's plenty. Good God, if they would just tap in. You know, we got the ocean. Dog says animals are stupid. No, they're not. Some are. Those windmills only work in coastal areas. Or Chicago. I mean that very endearingly, by the way. And it says the windmill killed Don Quixote's dreams too. Uh. They do not blame the birds. They cannot help. They are bird brains. Cardi B. On Mitch's skin, I take Topamax and atenolol for migraine prevention, and just a minute or two of pressure on that head or arms leaves a bruise or draws blood to surface that stays for days. Hell, he's got it on his hands too. Very well be. Very well be thinners. Mitch looked like he just had a stroke. He didn't look good. He did not look good. His lips didn't work in unison. I just saw a picture. I didn't hear him speak or nothing. Les, do you like that de Blasio saying the National Guard is not American military? Blasio is stupid. Do you even know how we got the National Guard, you guys? The National Guard was formed out of back in the Wild West days where they had militias. where they were deputized to help law enforcement, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it evolved into the National Guard. How American can you get? Guess what one of my truths is? I'm always hungry. Oh my god. Maybe it is Weekend at Bernie's all over again. The National Guard is the oldest military institution in the 1600s. Sam says de Blasio got 1,500 kids shot by taking plainclothes cops off the streets. Blasio's an idiot. It's a good thing I don't live there. And they go through military training too. See, that's why you need to keep our history alive, or else you're not going to know anything. He smokes weed all day. He admitted it. Oh, great. Well, I'm glad he's not in the high. I'm going to be talking to a recruiter soon about joining the Guard. Just going to have to bite the bullet and do it. There says they can get deployed too. Yeah, we had a unit out of was it Licking or Franklin County? I had 1 or 2 units deployed, National Guard. Without your history, you have no future. That's what I said. Don't these people understand we need our historical monuments and shit? We need to remember it's part of our history. You can't erase American history. You can't. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's our history. Just like now is our history. I wish there was an island we can go to where time just stands still and we ain't gotta worry about it. What if we erase the history of what Hitler did? Exactly. But then again, there are so many people who don't believe it even happened. That's a crying shame. You can show them all the proof, but it didn't happen. They said it happened all right, and it did. I think, isn't it? I think Germany banned the name Hitler, didn't they? Same people think the Earth is flat. A list of people recently fired because of the color of their skin. Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, etc. And you know, Aunt Jemima worked hard for that company. She really did. That is pathetic. How about the Indian lady on, what, Land O'Lakes Butter? Really? You beat me to it. Was typing about Hitler as you posted it. The ones that hate Lincoln because he is racist really read your history. He was, though. Anna, he was. Ben was so pleasant, said Sam. This says not auntie. Her descendants have no more money coming in from the royalties now either. Exactly. These people are stupid. And you know, who doesn't like Uncle Ben's rice? Anna says, wow, really? Yeah. He just saw it prudent to free the slaves, but yeah. Native tribe also designed the Redskins logo and were highly honored to have finally made it into a major league team. All gone now. Yeah, the guy that owned the Redskins, he loved the Indian culture and he had them design it. They didn't ask the group of people that it affects, you know. Vietnamese don't like Uncle Ben's rice competition. Yeah, well that's true. Atlanta Braves are next. Yeah. Cleveland Indians. You can't do that to Cleveland Indians. They made a movie about them. What was what was the pitcher's name Charlie Sheen played? Oh, what was his name? He'll be out of a job. Kansas City Chiefs. Wild Thing. How could I forget that? The song. Cowboys is too pro white. Get rid of them too. You know, these people have no idea. They have no idea. They want us Latinas to start using the term Latinx, Latinx to be more inclusive. Oh my god. These kids are nothing but crybabies. Exactly. You know, and they're so young. Like Dakota, he really thinks he knows it all. Like the last time we talked, he said, "I need to listen to him, somebody who actually knows what's going on." I'm like, "You're an idiot." Really? Hmm. It is literally the best time to be a human being, and they still find stuff to complain about. They do. They do. And I think it's because their parents were the type to get a trophy, participation trophy, and they pass that on to their kids and blah, blah, blah. I don't even go so far as to say some of that stuff he says. Cowboys cost me 40 cents in fourth grade. I want drink money back. Sam says that internet ruined them. They don't even know the reason why they're even taking up causes. You know? I don't think any of them know the reason. None of them know why they're fighting the causes that they're fighting for. They have no idea, and there's no history behind it, and there's no truth behind it. Participation trophies or their equivalent are really nothing new. A while back, I saw a beautiful framed certificate about 100 years old in an antique store. It was for a girl who had passed the Palmer handwriting method test. Oh my gosh. Doc says, I think it was something like 3% of the protesters are actually people of color. It doesn't even have to be about color. They just don't know what the hell they're upset about. got 40 white kids and no black people with them yelling BLM. Those are the kids that are picked last in dodgeball. Oh. Hmm. I have no idea what they're even fighting for. They are upset about being upset. A black lawyer heads our local BLM chapter. By all accounts, he's a total crook and should be disbarred. Then says, then when you punch one of these little kids in the face, they want to call 911 on you. Yelp. There's a Yelp rating say over and over that they paid him and then he didn't do the services they hired him for. All politicians are crooked. The Chicago BLM chapter is calling for total abolishment of police and that looting is a form of reparation. Reparation for what? 7 BLM members been arrested for wire fraud and keeping money. They're shooting themselves in the foot, says Sarah. What do they? They're going to have to prove to me they're a descendant of slavery. I'm sorry. For only having 20 pairs of sneakers instead of 40. They're going to have to prove to me. Anna says, good night, everyone. Anna, you have a good night, hon. Thank you for coming in. Cardi B, in all seriousness, the label of racist is so overused that it's not going to have any strength of a word very shortly. Exactly. Sam says, then you're going to have white people who want that money that have 0.2% black in the blood. First of all, anybody who says they want reparation for slavery, first of all, slavery ended in what, 1860? 1862, something like that. So, there ain't nobody alive that was a slave. And you're going to have to prove to me that you come from a line of somebody who was a slave. You're going to have to prove to me. You know how many people have immigrated since? Have come over that have nothing to do with it? You know how many people who are white, whose family has come over and had nothing to do with it? Like my friend Michelle, her mom and dad, her mom France, her dad Italian, they came over. They were married in France, and their two oldest kids were born in France. You know, one was born in France, one was born in Belgium. They came over and then had the last two. They had nothing to do with it. They don't care. I have no problem with reparation for people over the age of 70. They got hosed down. They got dog sticker on them. And how many white Native Americans people have black ancestors? Yeah. I think it did by law, but sharecropping and such continued it for a little bit longer, but not for at least 100 or more years. Native girl, hello. Did you know Rosa Parks was urged by the NCAA to do the bus thing? Point is, she had the guts to actually go do it. For real. That Rosa Parks story was a sham. The point is, she had the nerve to go and do it. Give her kudos. You mean NAACP? That's what I thought he was meaning, but it was her choice if she wanted to put her life on the line to do it. She was a strong woman. Yep. Cardi B, I don't buy that. Damn, I don't believe that. She was a longtime activist. Oh. Go Google it. Point is, she got up and did it. You know how many people they probably, if it's true, you know how many people they probably asked before her that said no? Just like Susan B. Anthony. People are like, what'd she do? She was a true activist all of her life. She fought for women's rights and equal rights and shit like that. She wanted women to vote. You know, and she did to the day she died. So, you know, it seems that she got a salary too. Good, she deserved one. If it, I tell you what, I don't think there's anybody as brave today as there was back then. These kids today don't know what people went through just to have what we have now. You know? A few weeks before Rosa Parks was arrested, a 15-year-old girl also refused to give up her seat, although she was also pregnant, so that was another reason why she wanted to stay seated. I don't blame her. Sam, have you ever seen race riots from back in the 50s and 60s? It was ugly and people stood up, paid or not, who cares? Susan B. Anthony was arrested in 1870s for attempting to vote. Yes, she was. Because women couldn't vote. Could not vote. I've got a huge respect for people that don't take people's crap. Can you imagine if no one ever acted? What bitches we would feed our governments and to our governments and sociopaths? Hell yeah. Remind me of when a kid in my religion class years ago said, "My dad hit me because of the grades you gave me." Teach goes, "What do you want me to do besides not care?" Called DCFS. Oh my god. There says suffragettes in England had an even worse time than Americans did. Ain't that the truth? Doug says, I was laughing so hard. That was kind of cruel what the teacher said. I don't think that was funny. Both at the besides not care part and him erroneously calling DCFS as DCC. Sarah, are you from England? Asks Tardy. The teacher is supposed to care and notify DCFS. I think that was atrocious what that teacher said. No, but I've done a little research, says Sarah. I know one thing. No matter what is happening in this country, I know all the other countries around the world are watching us. And that is for sure. They're keeping their eye on the United States. They're watching every little thing we do. Teachers are supposed to be the first reporters like nurses. Sarah said you're right about that. Doc said the kid was a troublemaker. I think the teacher didn't think he was being honest. He was an old guy, and I think he retired last year. It doesn't matter. First of all, why would you laugh at something like that? Secondly, it doesn't matter what the teacher thinks. Doesn't matter. England messed and enslaved everyone, so anything they've done does not surprise me. England never had slaves. There were no slaves in England. I don't think he was being serious, in my opinion. The way he said it was like grilling the teacher as if he caused it. Still nothing to laugh at. I was beat for my grades because my school didn't have a regular ABC, ABCDF. They didn't have that. They had numbers. My parents didn't understand it. So I was beat all 7 years I was in Catholic schools. Come to find out, I was a damn good student. I hated report cards. I'd rather have my mom beat me for it than my dad, though. But because my parents were idiots and didn't understand numbers, um, I got beat all the time. Oh, thank you. I don't know, maybe I'm just a terrible person, but that whole exchange was just odd to me. The teacher should have taken that serious no matter what. You never know. Never know. So, you know. Oh my god. It's past my bedtime. No wonder I'm getting tired. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end it here because it is past my bedtime. It's after 2. I think the teacher actually calling DCFS in response to it would have been an acceptable response too if the kid was lying. Uh-oh. White Pig fans, we had to turn on the heat tonight. We actually have our air conditioner on, but it's set at 73 and it hasn't kicked on for a long time, so. White Pig fans, I am up keeping an eye on things tonight. Sarah says, good night, Les. Nice chat with everybody. Doc says, see you, Les. See ya. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. I appreciate it. Thank you for stimulating talks and participation. I truly appreciate it. We're going to be 30 degrees at 8 a.m. Oh my god. Sarah says, cold front hadn't hit there yet. Yeah, it has. And then like today it was like 82. So, and it got hot in here. So, sending your way, Liz. Yeah, thanks. Alrighty, y'all have a good night. Have a great night, great day, and we had that hot day yesterday, says White Picket Fence. Yeah, it'll probably be cold tomorrow. My phone's dead, or else I'd be checking it. Damn. Alrighty, y'all have a great night, great day, and we'll talk later.